Hi there, for this review video, we are going to be going over poetry and the elements of poetry. So let's go ahead and review this little picture. Remember, poetry can be about anything. It can rhyme, they can be silly, or they can be serious. They can express our feelings and emotions. Maybe it's a poem about happiness, maybe it's a poem about excitement. They can have titles. Sometimes they don't have titles. They can be very short or long. They don't always end in complete sentences. Sometimes you will see the line and there will not be a period at the end. There will only be a whole bunch of lines and then a period at the very end of the poem. Okay? So there are many different types of poetry. Let's go ahead and now talk about the elements of poetry. So the elements of poetry. So I have two different posters here. We have rhyme, repetition, alliteration, and describing words. Describing words is those describe sensory poems. So rhyme, words that end in the same sound or sounds. For example, cat, sat, mat. Hop, mop, top. Cat, sat, mat all end in the what sound? The at sound. Hop, mop, top all end in the up sound. Repetition. The same words or lines are said over and over and over and over and over again. Right here is an example of repetition. I kept saying over and over and over and over again. Okay? Alliteration. Words near each other start with the same sound or sounds. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Okay, so that's an example of that. What letter are we focusing on? The letter P. Then we have describing words. Words tell how things look, sound, feel, and taste. Those are our 5 senses. They help you picture what the poet sees in his or her mind. Let's go ahead and talk about each one a little bit more. So here's some example of alliteration sentences. Alliteration. When 2 or more nearby words have the same beginning sound. Give me a thumbs up if these work. We've gone over these before. Natalie nibbled noodles. That's an example. Tell me what letter are we focusing on? The letter N. Good job. Sam sipped a strawberry Slurpee. What letter are we focusing on? The letter S. Good job. Peter the penguin likes pizza and pickles. What letter are we focusing on? The letter P. Monkeys make major messes. Monkeys make major messes. What letter are we focusing on for this alliteration sentence? The letter M. Good job. And then Carla went camping. What letter are we focusing on? The letter C. All right, let's go ahead and look at this sentence. Magoni makes many muffins. What element of poetry is this? Is it A, alliteration, B, rhyme, or C, repetition? So here's our sentence we're focusing on. Magoni makes many muffins. Is this alliteration, rhyme, or repetition? Alliteration, rhyme, or repetition? It's alliteration. That's what we're focusing on. Why is it alliteration? Well, let's see. When 2 or more words, nearby words, have the same beginning sound. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4 words that all begin with what letter? M, right? So this is an example of alliteration. Let's go ahead and look at another question about alliteration. All right, so we have letter A, letter M, and letter Y. What letter can you tell that we're focusing on in this alliteration sentence? Look at the beginning of each word. What does it start with? The letter M. So what letter are we focusing on? The letter M. Okay? Now the reason why I want to go over these 2 questions with you is because on tomorrow's test, you're going to notice that we have 2 questions like that, and they go over alliteration. So I want you to be prepared for that. Okay, so rhyme. Let's go ahead and talk about rhyme now. All right, rhyme. Words in a poem that have the same ending sound. Same ending sound, right? These words are usually found at the end of a line in the poem. For example, flat, bat. Do these rhyme? Yes, They do, don't they? Flat and bat both have the same sound at the end, which is at. What about cap and trap? Do those words rhyme? Cap and trap. They do rhyme. They both end in the what sound? Ap sound. Okay? And then repetition. So we're going to look at a sentence that has repetition in it. We've read this poem before. Snow. Snow, snow, lots of snow, everywhere we look and everywhere we go. Snow on the sandbox, snow on the slide, snow on the bicycle, left outside, snow on the steps, and snow on my feet, snow on the sidewalk, snow on the sidewalk, snow on the sidewalk, down the street. What are the words that are being repeated? They're in blue. The word snow. What are the lines being repeated? So it needs to be repeated at least twice. So 1, 2. Snow on the sidewalk. All right, so that was just a quick little review over poetry and the elements of poetry.